We can start. Okay.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Ciao a tutti. I don't speak Italian, just several phrases, but hope it will be understandable presentation about how we can make fun and use automation with OpenAI for Santa Claus stories. So I will talk a little bit about OpenAI, but we'll make demos in the context of Santa Claus. So thanks to our sponsors for everything about support for this event. About the agenda, we will talk about several specific things, how to use OpenAI, and especially how to use it with Power Platform and Power Automate, and we will have many demos and fun. My name is Mihail Mateev. I am from Bulgaria, not so far from here, playing with Azure from the beginning, and trying to have a lot of different interesting samples in different contexts, this time about Santa Claus. How many of you actually are using OpenAI? Probably everyone. Okay. That means we can maybe no need to talk about the concept when OpenAI is founded, but we can talk a little bit what we can use for fun and for work. Different models, which we will see a little bit later. You know also that Microsoft actually is main investor in OpenAI, and also the whole infrastructure is running on Microsoft Azure. So, several things which probably are well known, but it is good to mention. About large language models, we can play with two different groups of models. Chat models, we will have more samples with chat models and completion models. Usually I'm trying to make the following similarity because I'm lecturer in the university, when I do exam with my students. Actually, completion models are like if you have a test with students, they need to make everything based on the instructions and to give you results. And when we have chat models, it is a little like when we have communication with students to clarify their grade. We are sending some questions, receiving some answers, trying to clarify questions till we have reasonable response. So different concepts with different API. Usually, most of people in interactive mode are using mostly chat models, but if someone is not with experience about completions, I kindly recommend to use it. For example, DaVinci models depends on what you are looking for. If you can clarify your case, it is possible with one shot to receive the whole information. Also, how many of you are dealing with fine-tuning? Because usually there is a misunderstanding about fine-tuning and custom models. Fine-tuning can be used to clarify your content and to be possible out of the box to have better results, uploading lists with prompts and answers for both models, completion models and group of chat models. And also, it is possible to do it for both OpenAI for Azure and OpenAI using OpenAI Consortium API. Going back here, just to mention one thing, it is possible also to have custom models. To train models based on existing models, it is by request, it is possible to have based on the standard models which are available with additional information, what you are looking for, custom trainings, and these models will live in private network. You will have only access for these models, and you can use it for your organizations. We will be not able to make such kind of demos. So, when we are talking about Azure OpenAI and OpenAI, actually, we have access to the same models, but using Azure for integration is much more convenient because we are able to have flexibility regarding to number of tokens, so that means we can boost the performance. Many things which are interesting, but we have no time. That's the reason to go and play with OpenAI. Both OpenAI Consortium and Microsoft Azure have API similar but also different. We will make the samples with Santa Claus cases. When we are using OpenAI Consortium API, we have one global endpoint and internal routing. When we are using Azure, we can deploy proxy, that means models into different regions, and we are able actually to have much more fine settings regarding to where we are using resources and what we can do. I will demonstrate everything with demos a little bit later. What I kindly recommend is for people who didn't make integration of OpenAI in different solutions, also to try first to play directly with API using Postman or another tool, because all other components, all copilots actually are on top of some basic functionalities which you can use, understand, use it more efficiently and cheaper for specific purposes. I will show you how we can call API and how we can also make this implementation with code using Visual Studio and also with Power Automate, which is actually the next topic. Also, in Azure, you are able to make pretty easy using Playground different web applications using chat and without any additional programming or training to use the whole power of OpenAI. Let's go to Power Automate. Power Automate can use all these functionalities without need to write one line of code. And you will see how we can make in low-code, no-code solutions different insights from artificial intelligence. Today it will be with the topic related to Santa Claus. So, before to continue, I think to switch to demos, because demos are always more interesting than calling of a specific context with theoretical explanation. So, I will start first switching back from presenter mode. Let's see. Okay. I will start now with Postman. So, we can actually make easy reference to documentation, but for example, if we want to have some request, we need to add our prompt and, of course, additional information about size, numbers of images, and some other details. Let's now try to make some changes. Santa Claus visiting Rome, and coming to Microsoft Campus to see what will be result. Something like this. Okay. We need to add here something like this. Okay. So let's save it and let's try to generate an image. Depends on the load. Of course, we can have some latency. Let's now try to visualize this. Not sure how correct is this, but based on correctness of the request, you can have, of course, different details. It is possible to make similar solutions also with Visual Studio. What is the difference? Using directly OpenAI API, you have no out-of-the-box available from Microsoft SDK. You have third-party libraries, but using OpenAI exposed via API, you can have actually integration without need to use third-party solutions. In general, I will be able to show you several examples. First one will be with OpenAI API, which is exposed from OpenAI Consortium. I just need to add my credentials and need to have into dependencies where was it here? OpenAI libraries which are actually available from several independent vendors. Here I'm using one of these. Let's try to generate again image. I will use here actually option to generate from one side results based on the completions, and second to generate image. So let's try the second options. And let's say Santa Claus visiting Colosseum in Rome. And let's see what we will have like result. Well, looks like Santa Claus, looks like Colosseum. Of course, if we have more details, our image will be much more precise. It depends on what we have. What is the problematic point usually? We need to give more context, especially for generation of documents. Now, I will give you one different sample where we are actually using text. And you will see that sometimes information can be not sufficient to get good impression. For example, where is living Santa Claus? Not enough context. Yeah, maybe many people from childhood know that Santa Claus traveled from Lapland, maybe, but Santa Claus is a North Pole. Well, not very specific. If you are using for such kind of question clarification, it could be, of course, more clear. Born in Lapland. Living Santa Claus. I needed to add one, sorry. Santa Claus is born in Lapland. Where is living Santa Claus? Let's try. It depends. What is interesting, when we are using prompts with chat communication, each next iteration gives us more content. When we are using every time, it is like a completely new request. It is not some insight from the previous request. So let's see now how we will do it with Power Automate, because this is the foundation. In Power Automate, there are many different options to use integration with OpenAI. The simplest and basic one is to use actually HTTP request, and there is such kind of trigger. Why? Because if you know what you are sending via Postman, you are putting absolutely the same here. And let's now try to generate one very simple solution where, okay, we are trying to make request related to a specific topic to OpenAI. I will change a little bit the topic. I will add here Santa Claus. Instead, Puppy is playing soccer in the moon. Okay. At the camera, cartoon style. Okay. So let's save. What usually we need to have when we have request, let's just try to save it to ensure everything. Okay. Going back. We need to parse the answer. Well, parsing is pretty simple. You can use, of course, Postman or Visual Studio to see the exact request. Even you can make it one time in Power Automate to see what is the result from the previous step, and to put the result to generate the schema. After that, if we have more responses, why if we have more responses? Because here we can put, for example, 2 images, or 3 images, or more images. We will make in the loop email with the URL for each of these generated images. These images live for a short time in CDN, and after that you are losing access, and after that periodically one service deletes all images. So if you generate something, please hurry up to collect your information, because after that you will have no access to this information. Here I will add Santa Claus image URL is, saving. Let's just saving sometimes is a little longer. Now I will try to test this solution. For testing you need, of course, to turn on your flows, because some of my demo flows actually have triggers that can fulfill my email box with a lot of emails. I prefer to keep it off. Now I'm turning to edit mode and try to test it. But it is not part of this presentation, is that Copilot can, of course, now help you to make easier and simpler flows. But we are trying to ask directly OpenAI API. So let's test it. In similar way, you can integrate OpenAI functionalities to low-code, no-code solutions pretty easy. It is also possible to use ready components. I will demonstrate also how you can use, for example, GPT components. Now, I think that our request maybe needs more time, or OpenAI API is overloaded at the moment. You know, the risk when you are using artificial intelligence as a service is that you cannot control all parameters. If the service is overloaded, it is possible to have some delay. I would like to, okay. So we have 2 generated emails. Now I will try to open my email box and to see if my emails are here. I think that I have even more. Let's see. This is one. This is another one. And in similar way, you can generate some content for fun or not for fun. But you understand, it is pretty easy to make such kind of things. I have a lot of samples, but I will try to make one, because more for sure, because we have not much time. And it is actually to integrate OpenAI without specific copilots, without any virtual agents, directly to Teams chat and to communicate some topics about Santa Claus. Going back here, I will just turn off this flow, and we'll go to my flows to try to make something which is related to Microsoft Teams. So, Power Automate supports triggers and actions related to Teams. It is possible to use high-level components. You can use for integration different options, but you can do it directly. No need to think about some solution, free or commercial. Just you need to have OpenAI API access, and you can do it. So let's try to explain. We have trigger where actually when new message is added with specific channel, in this case I'm using one prepared channel in one team group. We are parsing the JSON, sending a request to OpenAI, parsing and receiving after that message. So let's try to test this. Again, need to turn on the flow. Okay, now we can try it. Let's try it manually. Sometimes triggering can work with some delay. Santa Claus discussion. We are triggering the topic and saying, tell me where Santa Claus lives, for example. Sometimes it works pretty easy. I will try to add additional information. So it seems time to time triggering. Maybe I didn't make it in the best way. Claus is living. Yeah, sometimes for the triggering we need to wait a little bit more. And what I'm expecting in similar way like for other questions to receive answer from our automated bot that Santa Claus is living somewhere. Depends on, of course, preciseness and how successful is possible to do this. Just checking. Last time. It is with okay. It is with new conversation in a specific channel. Of course, there are some things that can be clarified. Now it was triggered, but yeah, the explanation is pretty general. Depends on what we are using and how we are using. We can have, of course, different scenarios. It is just such kind of fast adapted demo, but you can make it with a little more effort to work pretty good, comparable with virtual agents, but you have no need to pay for virtual agents. You need just to pay for tokens from OpenAI. So you can play with Santa Claus topics. You can use this experience also for different other contents, and hope that you will enjoy integration of OpenAI with Power Automate and other Microsoft products. You see, if you have even small information about how API works, you can make everything. No need to use custom products. You can, of course, but everything is pretty easy and fast. Thank you very much for attention, and hope you will enjoy the topics with Santa.